Hello and welcome back to the booth here at Card Kingdom's weekly Legacy Tournament. I'm Josh Monks, that's Mike Kiesel, and we have another round one set up for you guys.
Yeah, that was fast.
Yeah, very fast. So we have Neil Henley versus Eric Kaiser? I think that's Kaiser.
Kaiser, yeah.
Kaiser. All right. And Neil is playing Storm, and Eric is playing Junk Midrange.
Okay.
So I'm not really sure how that varies between Abzan decks, Abzan Fire, Punishing Abzan. There we go. That's the name I was looking for. What do you think is running in this Junk Midrange deck?
Junk Midrange could mean all sorts of things,
Yes.
right?
Do you think it's got Doran in it?
I think it's more likely to have Siege Rhino, to be honest.
Okay. I do like Siege Rhino.
Siege Rhino would be awesome to see. Kind of probably expect more Stoneforge, Thoughtseize, Abrupt Decay, Deathrite Shaman,
Okay.
maybe Hymn to Torak, some Tarmogoyf, maybe.
Liliana?
Liliana
Bitter
seems
Blossoms?
maybe.
You never know.
I guess
What's
it's probably
the-
not more Maverick style if it's called out as Junk Midrange. I don't know.
Maybe it's Maverick.
It could be Dark Maverick. Could be all sorts of things.
Maybe it's Green Sun Maverick. Maybe it's Vile Maverick. You never really know with these guys. People kind of show up with whatever they want to bring and then play it here. Sometimes it ends up on camera.
HC Fox wins the pun award for the night. With
Yes.
those two decks seem pretty low maintenance. Well done, sir.
Oh, wow. I didn't even see that.
It just popped up.
I like that one. I like bad jokes. I don't know about you.
I love
think you
dad
do.
jokes. That's my goal in life, to be the best dad via dad jokes.
Okay. So you don't need to score anywhere else in the dad category as long as
Yes.
the dad jokes are full.
Well, that's what makes you a good dad.
Oh, okay. The only requirement.
Only requirement.
Heard it here, guys. All right, looks like we are getting that match now live, so let's head down there. So we got Eric on the right playing that Junk Midrange deck versus Neil, who looks like Neil took game one.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Neil took game one?
Yeah.
Okay,
Which
Neil
is-
took game one.
Which is as you might expect. Junk probably has a lot of dead cards like Source of Plowshares, Abrupt Decay that really don't do anything.
But they might have him to Torok.
Yeah.
Just heard from our spotter, he's not sure if it's Junk Midrange or not, so we will find out exactly what's going on over there.
Yeah.
If he goes turn 1 Deathrite, turn 2 him to Torok, he's in pretty good shape though.
Yeah.
But I have to imagine if he's in those colors, he's got those cards in his deck.
Yeah.
Junk is, of course, the green, white, black, now formerly called Abzan, or as I called it for about 3 months, Azban.
Azban, yeah.
Yes. Or
It's like a place in Harry Potter, right?
Azkaban is.
Oh,
Which is
okay.
another name that I also called it, but I knew that wasn't the actual name.
Okay.
I did think Azban was the correct pronunciation. Did not read it hard enough.
That's fine.
We got Neil's great locks on cam, as well as these great playmats. These guys' playmats almost match. What color are those? Orange?
Sleeves?
Yeah. Or sorry.
Yeah.
I see a Vindicate.
I see. Yeah.
Fan of that card. There's a
I
him in his
really
hand.
like. Yeah. So, Vindicate him. I don't know what. Is that a Green Sunzia next to the him?
I believe so. Oh, I think that was a life from Malone, actually. Just changes everything.
All right.
We're going to see a fetch here to start off the game. Game 2 here. Eric, I believe I saw a Savannah, but it might have been a Scrubland. I cannot tell those lands apart unless I try really
They're
hard.
really hard. Just the revised printing is really hard. If you get the darker printings, it's easier to tell.
Yeah, they're a little more pop.
Yeah.
So let's see exactly what he decides to do with this Bayou that he just fetched up. Man, I really hope he plays that Vindicate on something sweet. I do like Vindicate.
I think Vindicate in this deck is, in this matchup is more likely to go after a land, which is sweet.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. That's basically why you play that card, right? Otherwise,
much.
you can just play a Replicate for 2 mana at instant speed.
It's extra wastelands.
Let's see what he decides to do now. Looks like he's in the tank. I don't see a lot of turn 1 plays, though. Maybe he's just shipping the turn back to Neil.
Maybe.
Neil is raring to draw the top card of his library.
Yeah.
And his hand looks pretty great. I see a Gix Probe. Oh, it is a green sun.
It is
So
a
I see
green
a green sun
sun,
on
okay.
0. I do like when players fetch land, present their shuffle and then present, and then
Yeah.
play green sun and do it again.
Yes.
May as well do it twice. And so this actually sets him up to fire off a Vindicate next turn. Off this Dryad Arbor.
Go right after the mana base.
It's a good target.
Yeah.
Neil will see it coming with this double Gix Probe in his hand.
Yep. Ooh, promo Gix probes. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. Neil does like his foils. I will say that much. I'm a fan of foils. Everyone gives me crap for it.
Foils are fine, but promo foils I think are like the absolute worst.
They're the cheapest foils, though.
Yes.
It looks like that's an
it's
Eternal Witness.
Okay.
So this hand is actually not that powerful. It's okay.
I think that is a scrubland. I think that is a scrubland.
Okay, I think you're right. I trust
So-
you.
Is it?
So do you think he's going to play a him next turn, or do you think he's going to play a Vindicate next
You
turn?
just got a him, right?
I feel like you do. I feel like him is so powerful against Storm.
Him you now. Him now. Why him later when you can him now?
Yes. However, Neil is pretty light on lands. He does draw an LED off of that Gix Probe, and I believe he's got an Infernal Tutor, so he's actually very close to being able to combo off here.
Yeah. He's what, like maybe one mana source, really?
I think so. He's doing the math right now. He's got a Ponder, he's got a Dark Writ, he's got an Infernal Tutor, and another Gix Probe.
That puts him.
Oh, you know, I think he's got 2 fetches. I didn't see that Scalding Tarn.
Yeah.
And so now he knows that there is that Vindicate and that Hindatorok in the wings. Which line do you like taking here? Do you like trying to go for it, or do you think you can play slow, play safe?
Looks like he's going for it.
I was going to grab the big dice for us. Always a fan.
Yep.
Helps us out immensely here on cam. So Storm's currently at 1 with that Gix Probe.
That is a Dark Petition, is the other card in his hand.
Big fan of that card too. I imagine it's going to get discarded to this LED.
Probably.
So there's 3 Storm and 3 black mana floating.
Isn't this short?
I'm not really sure. I'm really bad at doing the math. I don't like how he's doing this without playing the Gix Probe in his hand. I feel like that's very free.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like he's going to take backsies.
Yeah, I think he miscounted a mana.
Okay. So is he just going to ship the turn here?
You
it's
might as
pretty
well
late.
probe here.
Yeah, he played the Dark Writ already, which is pretty awkward. You can't really take backsies that.
No.
If I was Eric, I'd be fine with the Infernal Tutor takes these backsies. Not okay with the Dark Ritual takes these backsies. And of course, Cornejo is going to update that die for us.
And you know what I'd like here? Actually, no. You know you're going to get hemmed. I almost like Infernal Tutoring for a Ponder here, but
The problem is you can't play both this turn.
yeah.
Oh, he is going to just Infernal Tutor. Reveal
Well, you have 3 black mana floating.
no, he's got 1 black mana floating.
Yeah.
You just have, I believe he's got another Ponder in his hand too, so he's just got 3 Ponders. And he just
Well, no,
hopes to
no.
be
He
able
has
to
2
reroll.
Ponders.
I thought he had 2 Ponders already.
No, he had 1 Ponder and a Dark Petition and the other Infernal Tutor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I thought So I'm guessing he thought he could add Nas and then realized he actually had to pay mana for his Infernal Tutor.
Yeah, it's-
Neil would like to point out this is his first time playing the deck.
makes sense.
Yes.
I'm terrible at this
Yes.
deck too, so
Yeah.
you know I can see him making subtle mistakes.
Yeah, I went 1-4 in Vintage with Storm, so it's not an easy deck to play.
Absolutely not. A lot of math, a lot of probabilities you got to decide.
Yes.
I just like attacking with Delver Secrets and Goblin
It's
Lackey.
much easier.
Yes.
You know what's easier? Playing 7 lands and then just miracling Entreat.
Yes.
As-
I will make a million angels and kill you with
Yes.
them.
No, don't have to worry about combat math ever or racing situations. It's now you're dead.
So do you think Eric's going to fire off this Vindicate? It looks like he's thinking about it. Do you think you hit the LED or do you hit the Underground? It looks like he's going after the LED.
I like the LED. Neil already wasted some. Of course.
Well, he's going to draw another LED off the top.
Yep.
Let's see what he decides to do. I imagine he's going to fire off one of the many ponders in his hand.
Yeah. No, I
Gonna fetch first. I like pondering first.
I like pondering first.
I see this one. I don't
Yep.
like Bad Nauseum as much as Ad Nauseum, but it's close. It's close.
Yeah. He hasn't gotten the bad nauseum yet. I think the bad nauseum is when you kill yourself, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. When you're at 6 and you play Ad Nauseum,
Or we need like that one more ritual effect, and it's just like cantrip, 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 and then you're at 5, and there's like, boom, hit you with Dark Petition, or hit you with like Past in Flames, you're done.
the worst one is when there's Ad Nauseum and you're like, I guess I'm going to 1 here. And then
Yeah.
you can't really decide if you keep going and hope you hit a Lotus Petal, or you stop
Yeah.
and just hope you can find it off the cantrips. It's a challenge.
Okay, Brainstorm's a good draw.
Brainstorm is, however, he did just fire off that fetch land.
Yep. Well, I mean, we don't know what we'll look at from the first ponder, but I do like pondering first.
It gives you just a little bit more control.
Yeah, I guess the thought here is that he really wants to cast both ponders.
If that's the case, then I definitely fetch first. Or I fetch after, sorry.
Because that gives you like the absolute best card in the first ponder. Like the worst case scenario is your ponder reveals 3 cards that you really want, and then you draw them.
Yeah. Worst case scenario is you don't crack your fetch and you don't play another ponder this turn.
Yes. which is a situation I would like to be in.
So it looks like Neil has not exactly decided what he wants to do with this ponder.
Yeah.
He's kind of got one card floating around on
It was
top.
a Chain of Vapor, I believe.
I think it was a rebuild.
Was it a rebuild?
I believe so.
It looks Chain of Vapor. Like with the Chain of Vapor, Lotus Petal, land.
I saw Island Lotus Petal rebuild.
Okay.
A little surprised he brought in rebuild. I don't really think he needed this matchup. He's going to go ahead and shuffle and draw off that ponder and shift the turn back to Eric.
That's why I think it's more likely to be Chain. But
I mean, rebuild does just about as much, so.
no, Chain could hit things like Leyline, if there's Leyline.
I think now's
Agadic
a little
Tea.
too late for a ley line.
Yeah.
Looks like Eric's going to play Runescope Teeth, and I imagine he's going to fire off a him here.
Seems good.
Oh, he's got a Cabal Therapy. Ooh,
Oh.
spicy.
He doesn't know what's in his opponent's hands.
He knows, yeah, he knows none of it. I wonder what he names.
How do you feel about Cabal Therapying before the hit?
I don't really think it matters much if you don't know what's in your opponent's hand.
But I think like the added information, knowing what is out of your opponent's hands.
Okay. If it's all in the dark, I like playing Cabal Therapy first because you're more likely to hit with Cabal Therapy.
Sure.
But again, it's not a huge deal, and I think it all really comes down to probabilities anyways. And I haven't done the math yet, but I gotta imagine they're kind of close.
Oh, okay.
Oh, of course, when you have a Dryad Arbor as one of your lands, you can just flash it back.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be able to flash it back. What do you hit here? Do you hit the Passive Flames or do you hit LED?
I think you hit LED.
Okay. You know what, if this is the case, what I like doing is hemming here and then flashing back Cabal Therapy.
That is definitely true.
If you know what's in your opponent's hand, I think it's a lot better to him them and then hit whatever last card you think is important.
I think that's definitely true. My argument for hitting before Cabal Therapy is that you really want your Cabal Therapies to just be able to name what you're worried about,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And what you're worried about is informed greatly on what two cards it is. Like if they discard two Dark Rituals, you don't really need to name Dark Ritual again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or even if they discard like Dark Ritual and another LED, then you know I can like. Well, I'm only really worried about like another tutor or something.
The awkward part is that if you were going to name Dark Ritual, and then your opponent discards a Dark Ritual, you're a lot less incentivized to name that.
Yeah, that's true.
And that can make it a little bit harder. But
Yeah.
we're gonna see the him get fired off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, reroll 5 and 6. That's going to take number 3, and I imagine this is going to be 1, 2 on the first one, 2, 3 on the second
Yep.
one.
There you go.
Bam, get them both. Looks like Passive Flames and Dark Petition. So Neil is out of.
So he has
cards.
brainstorm. No, and he has an Inferno Tutor in hand, which
Oh,
is
okay.
actually I think that was the best possible thing he could hope for that hand.
Yeah, looks like he just drew a. I believe that was an Empty the Ones. It looked like a red card for sure.
Okay. Oh,
There's a Cabal Ritual and a Dark Ritual and an Underground Sea. So this is actually very close to being the combo. If he hits a red source, I think he can flash back that Passive Flames and potentially go off from there. I haven't done the math. So.
actually, what he can do here is he can put back the land and empty the Warrens, and he can Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, Infernal Tutor for a Lion's Eye Diamond,
Okay.
and I think win here.
Okay. And he has not played a land yet this turn, so if he leaves that land in his hand, he can play it for free.
So let's see. He has Threshold, so that's 3 up to 6, down to 4 up to 7 mana, with 4 black and 3 red. Flash it back, and he has 2 mana in his pool. And Storm is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this is lethal.
Looks like it. I didn't do the math yet, but I'm trusting your math.
Everything seems to be castable.
Yeah, I think you might just get rid of the land and the Empty the Warrens like Neil's hovering over
Because he has the other Dark Ritual
in his graveyard.
in his
still, right?
graveyard. So,
Interesting. So it looks like he's going to keep the Empty the Warrens and get rid of the Infernal Tutor. Maybe not. He still has not decided. That's certainly what I would do. I think you put back the land and the Empty the Warrens because you
Yeah.
want those rituals more than you want the land.
I think he's just worried about discard. If he's not seeing the line to combo off here, he's worried about getting more discard and what he is afraid of getting taken.
Looks like he's going to put back, I believe that's the Infernal Tutor and the Empty the Warrens.
So I think he feels he needs one more mana.
Looks like he thinks he's 1 mana short. So it looks like he's not going to be able to go off this turn, but then he's going to set up to go off next turn.
Okay.
Right now, Eric
There
does-
are 7 cards in the hand, so he does have Threshold.
which is a big deal. Looks like Eric just draws a Pernicious Deed. Not really a great effect here. There's not a whole lot that Eric can do. He's got that Eternal Witness, but he doesn't have any 1-mana spells to bring back. If he still had that Cabal Therapy in the graveyard rather than exiled, he could cast Eternal Witness to get back the Cabal Therapy, play Cabal Therapy, and then flash it back. It looks like he's just going to pull back a him and then ship a turn. So I think Neil can go off here. I think he knows he can go off this turn.
Yeah.
Let's see him do it. And I mean, you got to go off now. You know that there's a Hymn to Torah coming out next turn.
Yep.
3 black mana, 1 storm. Up to 6 mana.
Yeah.
That Infernal Tutor. Go
Goes
down
down
to
to
4. 3 storm. I do like him using the dice. Always a fan of that.
Now you go get LED here, yeah.
Play that LED. Storm up to 4.
Yeah.
And I mean, the kill here is just literally putting the cards in your graveyard onto the stack. The order is not super relevant. You want to play the rituals first,
Yeah.
and then the tutor for.
He has enough. He has enough cards in his graveyard that Threshold really doesn't matter, so he can cast these rituals in any order.
But will he have spell mastery for that Dark Petition? He's got it.
I think he has a few spells in his graveyard.
He's got a couple. He's got 1 or 2.
Yeah.
At least 2.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, if he goes for the Empty the Warrens kill here rather than the Tendrils of Agony kill, it will actually get wrecked by that Pernicious Deed that Eric just drew.
I don't think there's any reason.
Yeah, you definitely get Tendrils here, but he's going to pick up his graveyard. He's got to look at these cards. There's a lot of them. That is a fat graveyard.
Yep.
Here it
probe.
comes.
Yeah, I think he probed.
I don't think you want to probe, because if you draw cards, then Infernal Tutor no longer has Hellbent.
He has Dark Petition in his hand. It doesn't matter.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You convinced me.
Yeah.
I think you just go for the quick kill, though.
Yeah.
Don't really worry about getting
I mean,
fancy.
you don't know what's in your opponent deck. He might have Mindbreak Trap or something. Who knows? You always got to look, see. Because you know what? The time you don't look, they're gonna have it.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw that happen in Vintage over the weekend, actually.
Yeah, Mindbreak Trap is really, really nice in the board.
There was exactly 1 blank that Swales did not know about.
I actually almost considered bringing it in against shops
Yeah.
because the hands you're really worried about in Storm is where they go like
Land Mox,
like
Trinisphere?
like Mox, something like Lodestone Golem.
Okay. And you can just eat that spell?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. I can get behind that. Seems a little clunky if they have a workshop, though.
A little bit. Or like Chalice of the Void. And let you get back from Chalice of the Void. I guess they're going to play his Sphere probably, most likely. He does have the Rebuild in the board. And the Chain of Vapor. Okay, so.
He's got them both.
Yeah.
That looks like a Cabal Therapy. That does not look like Tendrils of Agony.
That's fine. He has, what, 9 mana footing? And he still has the Dark Petition. So he's playing it extremely safe here.
Yeah, which I can understand.
Yeah.
There's exactly 1 blank that
Yeah.
Neil doesn't know about, so if he fires off a Gixbroke, he can pull out just about anything.
Yeah. Probe you. Now Storm doesn't matter.
Storm's at 10, so unless Eric gets to 24 somehow.
There's him and a spell that he doesn't care about.
Yeah, a Pernicious Deed.
Yeah.
So Neil now knows to not go for the Empty the Warrens kill.
Yeah. Probe you again. Why not?
Who knows?
Don't forget to draw that card.
Is that a game loss if you don't draw? What is
No,
it?
I don't think so. Oh, he has another probe. There's no point in this.
That's
That actually goes in the graveyard.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think his graveyard's going to be too relevant here.
No.
It's just another spell mastery card for him.
Yep.
And you know, Eric's just going to go ahead and
Oh,
pick his
he
up.
almost pulled up that Empty the Warrens, but yeah. There's Tendrils.
Yeah, so welcome back to the booth, guys. That was another pretty quick match. We have 10 minutes left in the round. I don't know if we're going to be able to find another match for you.
Okay.
But I did hear through the grapevine, and by grapevine I mean you,
Yeah, I
that
have
we got some Pauper.
Pauper. Yeah, we have
So-
a Pauper event coming up
January 2nd.
January
Yeah,
2nd.
can you pull up the Pauper event ad for us really quick? We'll just talk about that for just a quick second.
Sure, yeah.
So January 2nd, we have 2 rags, 2 riches.
Yes.
To follow up rags to riches,
Yes,
because once you pop, you just can't stop. It's
exactly.
January 2nd, $15 entry. The ban list is the same as the previous one, plus High Tide.
Yes.
Because High Tide should have probably been banned for the last one, but we forgot.
Yeah. The one thing to note is Merchant Scroll is still legal.
Yeah, I think Merchant Scroll is okay.
Yeah.
I think getting High Tide with Merchant Scroll is not okay, and as long as you can't tutor through the ban list for a blue instance card, you should be okay with that one.
Yes.
But yeah, prize payout's going to be insane, so if you're in Seattle, make sure to come. Make sure to pre-register. I know pre-registration just went up.
Yeah,
If-
and it sold out a week in advance too last time. So.
Yes. Sign in quick. And if you're not local and you are unable to show up, don't worry, we'll be streaming it live here at twitch.tv/cardkingdom. I'll be in the booth, not really sure who with yet,
Yeah.
but when I find out, I'll make sure you guys know. But yeah, so that was round 2, again here at Card Kingdom. But we are